Books on Tape presents The Joy Diet, 10 Daily Practices for a Happier Life by Martha Beck, read by Kathe Mazur. Introduction. Every now and then, when I am feeling even more chubby, listless, and ill than usual, I put myself on a nutritional regimen that I've cobbled together over the years. My program is gleaned from the advice of countless self-help books, magazine articles, doctors, friends, and helpful strangers. It works pretty well for me. However, it has nothing to do with this book. No, if you're looking for ways to shed that pot belly or firm your buttocks, I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. As far as I'm concerned, your belly and buttocks are absolutely magnificent right now. Not that I want you to send me photographs. In fact, I will never write a book about dieting in the nutritional sense because I'm not a health or fitness expert. What I am is a life coach, and this book contains instructions for a different kind of diet, one designed not for the body, but for the soul. When the word diet first entered the English language back in 1656, when I was just a girl, it didn't refer to food intake. It meant a way of living or thinking. A few decades later, diet also came to mean a day's journey. The Joy Diet is a list of 10 behaviors you can add to your way of living and thinking to enhance every day's journey through the unpredictable terrain of your existence. You can implement it gradually and watch your life become steadily more vivid and satisfying. Or you can use it as a crash diet in an emergency, on the day when your cat gets sick or your lover dumps you, or you wake up unexpectedly transfixed by the awareness of your own mortality. The Joy Diet is simply what you can do to feel better, especially when you don't know what to do to feel better. I subscribe to the admittedly romantic belief that each person has a right life, a journey through this world that will bring him or her the most possible joy and fulfillment. As a life coach, my mission is to help people along the journey. My last book, Finding Your Own North Star, is basically a primer about how you can find your own particular right life, how you can chart your course and clear out obstacles as you move toward it, and what you can expect to encounter along the way. It's deep, transformative work that lasts a lifetime, although it most often feels like play. I consider this book both a companion volume to North Star and a helpful travelogue. It contains suggestions and supplies that can make your journey through life, whatever that life might be, as comfortable and happy as possible. It will remind you not to lose sight of the goal of joyful living, even when the journey is grinding. These ideas are very basic, the equivalent of pack a lunch, wear sunscreen, or keep your matches dry. But in my work, I've seen that many people never think of them, that those who do often forget, and that being reminded can make all the difference between a joyful journey and hell on wheels. Over time, I've zeroed in on a short list of 10 daily practices that give my clients, to put it crudely, the most bang for their buck. The Joy Diet is that list. Going on the Joy Diet. I once undertook the task of learning Tai Chi, the venerable martial art that is usually practiced by going through a sequence of very specific movements, very slowly, like a bear trying to dance while hibernating. I was frustrated when my teacher taught me one simple gesture. Set your feet shoulder-width apart, raise your arms in front of you until they're parallel to the ground, then told me I had to practice it every day for a week before I could learn the next move. "Oh, give me a break," I said. "I'm a quick study. Why not throw caution to the martial arts wind and teach me 2 gestures in a week?" This suggestion was politely but firmly declined. "Before I can teach you any new movement," said my teacher, "each gesture up to that point must feel as easy and unconscious as running your hand through your hair." I chafed wildly at this agonizingly incremental way of learning, but I came to appreciate it deeply and apply it in many areas of my life. No matter what complex thing you're learning, from playing the piano to solving calculus equations, the trick is to break the necessary actions down into trivial-seeming behaviors. Then, practice these behaviors until you can do each one half asleep, while watching television with one eye and your children with the other. That's the method I'd like you to use when you go on the Joy Diet. I recommend that you add, in order, a single practice or menu item to your daily routine each week. In other words, begin with the first activity and do it at least once a day for 7 days before adding the second activity. If, after a week, the menu item you're working on doesn't feel as natural and integral as breathing, take a few more days to really integrate it. You can slow down the Joy Diet as much as you like. However, you shouldn't try to speed up by trying to implement every element of the diet at once. That doesn't allow enough time to focus on each new behavior until it becomes second nature. No matter how long it takes you, the important thing is that you continue practicing each Joy Diet behavior until going a day without doing it feels odd, like never seeing the sky. At that point, you can add another menu item. The most difficult and time-consuming of the Joy Diet activities is doing nothing for a few minutes a day. The other 9 items are considerably easier. If you think this means they aren't challenging, you're in for a surprise. The components of the Joy Diet create a direct connection between your conscious mind and your deep self, the part of you that knows the purpose for your life and how you are meant to achieve it. This can be terrifying. Almost all of us are used to hiding our true natures from the world at large, from our loved ones, and especially from ourselves. We do this for security, which is ironic since forgetting who we really are renders us profoundly insecure. The effect of the Joy Diet is to shine a light into our hiding places, allowing us to see and remember ourselves and our reasons for being. That can change pretty much everything in your life. I've seen jaded ex-soldiers and confident CEOs shake like freezing kittens when they contemplated some of the Joy Diet behaviors, and their fears were well-founded. Like jumping out of an airplane, the activities on the diet are ridiculously easy and extraordinarily difficult. As you internalize each Joy Diet menu item, you may happen upon variations and adaptations that make the diet more effective for you. I encourage you to follow your own experience, even if it takes you in directions I don't mention. This book is only a primer, meant to help you begin developing habits that will lead you to the most fulfilling life possible. The more you follow the Joy Diet, the more clearly your soul's voice will speak to you, and the better you'll hear the instructions for your life that only it can know. This diet, this way of living and thinking, makes its practitioners more alike, only in the unanimous pursuit of their own uniqueness. Whether you're embarking on it because of a subtle hankering for a more meaningful existence, or a life crisis that has left you stunned and bewildered, it can help you down the path toward becoming yourself. I wish you all the success in the world and a good day's journey. Menu item number 1. Nothing. To begin the Joy Diet, you must do nothing for at least 15 minutes a day. Something is missing from my life. This is the most common reason people give me for seeking my life coaching services. Rarely do clients come to me with a clear dilemma to resolve or a simple goal to achieve. Sometimes the sense of something missing seems vague and inexplicable, like the phantom ache an amputee might feel in a limb that no longer exists. On other occasions, when a client is facing some kind of loss, choice, or crisis, the compulsion to find the missing something may be as keen and painful as glass in a wound. Often, the people who ask me to help them find the something have traveled thousands of miles and spent substantial amounts of energy, time, and money on their search. I have nothing to offer them. Fortunately, this is exactly what they need. Nothing at all, is the first ingredient you must add to your life when you go on the Joy Diet. Whether you're doing the program as an overall life enhancement or using it to face some kind of trauma, I'm almost certain you need nothing. A good, strong dose of nothing, and soon. Okay, enough coy wordplay. What I mean is that the best way to break through any barrier is to access a point of perfect stillness at the center of your being, a self deeper than your senses or your mind. We modern scientific thinkers are
Sample complete. Ready to continue?